Hey everyone, this is Drayshawn. Welcome to the first episode of Getting Off of Satan's Plantation. Today we will be talking about the history, the biblical context of abortion. And I pray that the information that we give, you will be enlightened and you will take this information and start to make some better decisions or to inform somebody else.
In the Bible, we read that the surrounding nations of Israel practiced child sacrifice. They offered their sons and daughters to gods like Molech and Baal. Leviticus chapter 18 verse 21 gives a clear command. Do not give any of your children to be sacrificed to Molech, for you must not profane the name of your God. I am the Lord. Yet despite this command, Israel fell into these same practices. Kings like Ahaz and Manasseh sacrificed their own children in the fire. Prophets like Jeremiah wept over this, declaring in chapter 19, they have built the high places of Baal to burn their children in the fire as offerings. Something I did not command, nor did it even enter my mind. So why would women and families ever participate in such of these type of things? Well, let's talk about the role of women in sacrifice. In Jeremiah chapter 7, we find that women baked cakes and prepared offerings for the so-called queen of heaven. In ancient fertility cults, women were often told that the offering of their child, the very fruit of their womb, was the highest form of devotion. They believed this would guarantee more children, good harvest, and favor with the gods. This was a tragic distortion of the God's design for motherhood. The one who was created to nurture was now manipulated and destroying it in the name of false worship. This is why we see a great spiritual deception, because scripture goes even deeper. We see in Psalms 106 verses 37 and 38, it says this: they sacrificed their sons and daughters to demons. They poured out innocent blood, the blood of their sons and daughters, whom they sacrificed to the idols of Canaan, and the land was polluted with blood. Did you just catch that? These sacrifices weren't just misguided religious acts. They were demonic. Behind every idol stood a demonic power, deceiving people into destroying what God had given them. Now let's step outside of the Bible for a moment. Archaeologists have discovered what are called topics in Carthage, a colony of the Phoenicians. These are open-air cemeteries filled with urns containing the burnt remains of infants. The inscriptions confirm they were sacrifices to Baal, Hammon, and Tanit. These are fertility gods of the region. Greek historians like Plutarch and Diodorus Siculus wrote that in times of war or famine, hundreds of noble children were burnt alive to gain the gods' favor. This isn't just a biblical accusation. It was a widespread practice in the ancient world, and it confirms the truth of scripture warnings. So here's what we see. Women and families sacrificed babies because they believe idols demanded it. They thought it would bring blessing, fertility, and protection. Sound like the government nowadays, right? They make us believe that if we abort this child, it will be better for us in the name of healthcare. But in reality, it was demonic deception that led to destruction. This shows us how far people can fall when they turn from God. When worship shifts from the creator to the created things, even the most natural instinct, a mother's love for her child, can be twisted into unthinkable acts. Friends, this is why God hates idolatry so much, because idols always demand blood. Think about any idols in your life right now. It demands a sacrifice. But the good news is this: our God did not demand that we sacrifice our children to him. Instead, he gave his own son for us. Jesus became the final sacrifice, not to destroy life, but to give it. In John chapter 10, verse 10, it reminds us that the thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. But I have come that they may have life and have it more abundantly. So as we look back on these painful chapters of history, let us serve as a reminder as a warning that anytime we replace God with idols, whether ancient gods or modern ones, personal idols that we have, it leads to death. But when we turn to Christ, we find life, truth, and freedom. This is all. And I pray that this episode blesses you guys.